Yeah, boy. Hi guys, so today's video guys, I want to talk to you about car booting, basically about how it's changed over the years and how I got into it, stuff like that, basically talk about people who kind of did it before me and just, yeah, how like the high kind of like how car boot videos are nowadays. Like literally there is so many different channels that do it now. Um, which is really cool to see, which I like. I do love seeing people out on the hunt. Um, I've enjoyed watching them kind of videos. That's why I kind of make them, because I enjoy making them. And when I see other people out there doing it, it's always great. And yeah, I've been doing it for about almost 13 years, something like that. 12, 13 years, a very long time. And when I first started, there was hardly any other channels doing it. I wasn't the first person in the UK to do it. There was a few other channels that actually did it before me. So there was actually a guy on YouTube. I don't think he does videos anymore, but I do see him pop up on comments and on other people's videos and stuff like that as well. And that is Matt the Retro Boot Disc. I'll put it here so you can see it. Give him a sub. I know he probably doesn't really make content like he used to, but he did it way before me. He did it like in 2000, like way like 2012, 13, I think it was. And then there was Rich King Retro. He did it way before me as well. They both did it with spy glasses. They used to have glasses on and walk around and filming in these. The quality wasn't the great in them, but that was kind of really cool back then. That was a kind of like how they were done. And then there was also my friend Lee, which he had a channel called Cube Master General, and he used to do the same thing with the glasses, go around the boot sale and film. So they were the first kind of people who did it in the UK, but they have all kind of stopped. They don't do it anymore. They don't do them videos. But the main guy that got me into doing this was a guy called Retro Hungry. His channel stood up. It's like a channel that I really enjoyed. I saw him going around with a GoPro on his chest. And at the time, I had a GoPro already, not for doing this kind of doing the car boots. I had one that I used to fly Mocha aeroplanes. I used to fly them, and I used to attach my GoPro on it and set it off and fly around, get some really good aerial views, and then I'll bring it back down. Way before drones were like what they are today. Drones were like kind of slowly coming in with cameras, but they weren't like the quality like they are now. So I used to wrap my GoPro on and get some really good footage. So before I started YouTube, I already had that. So when I started seeing videos like of that kind of thing, with someone going around with a GoPro on their chest, kind of gave me thinking, actually, I can give this a go. So I thought I'd give it a try. I first tried it in charity shops because I didn't feel too uncomfortable by doing them. I started doing charity shops. Went really well. But I don't do charity shops anymore because every time I go into them nowadays, I don't find anything. So I don't really film in them. I used to love filming in charity shops, but the days of getting anything great or anything gaming is very, very low. So there's no point of really doing that. So after I started doing charity shops, I went and started doing the car boots. And I started doing them. People started really liking them. And when I first started, I didn't get crazy amount of views on them. Like I said, I'd never do my channel for views. I've never done it for views, subs. It's always a nice bonus to get them. I've always done this as a hobby. This is my hobby, collecting what I get, showing you what my journey, and showing you what I enjoy. So me going out to the boot sales, I started giving it a go, and I've kind of not stopped. Now when I go to a boot sale without a camera on, I feel quite weird because I'm so used to having it on, and I've always feel like I've got something missing if I don't have it. And I always worry if I don't have it with me, I'm going to miss out on something really good that I can get on video. So I always try and take it with me. If I can't, then I have forgotten it in the past or forgotten to charge it. Get there and like, oh damn it, it's run out of battery. So yeah, so there was them guys. So the one channel that really did go crazy with the car boot hunting videos was Kevin Wolford. So he started doing them because I basically said to him, mate, you got to get out there and give it a try. He wasn't too sure at the time. He was really quite nervous, or just wasn't sure about giving it a go. But he had a camera as well. He had this Call of Duty camera. It came with like a collector edition, I think he had. What you say, you were supposed to put on his head. So he used to have a camera on his head and used to wander around the boot sales like that. And the camera quality was pretty decent for it. So he started using that for a bit, and then he ended up getting like a kind of like a knockoff GoPro, and gave that a go on his chest, and that ended up breaking, and then he ended up getting a GoPro instead to replace it, and that's how he did them. And I think it was like 2019, wasn't it, or something like that, his videos kind of somehow got in the algorithm, and they just went insane. You know, he didn't understand what the hell was going off. Just out of the blue, his videos are just going absolute bonkers, you know. Every time he put a video up, it was getting like, 10, like 50k straight away, then going up to like 100, then 200. It's like, Jesus, what's going off? His sub count was going crazy. So he did amazing. He started like, basically, since his videos went out like that, people started seeing them kind of videos more, and people have actually started doing it, because I think because they've seen Kevin's videos, it's made them feel like, oh, I want to give it a go, because it's gone out to so many more people than my kind of videos have gone to. So people have seen it and wanted to give it a go as well. That's what I'm guessing. But then there's also other channels that have started it as well. So after us lot have done it, there's been other channels like resale channels, because most of the people who started it like on YouTube were mostly collectors. I feel I don't think there was many resellers, like big resellers anyway, like doing it. So there was Andrea and Nick Hills. They started doing it at the boot sales I've seen, and their videos, do really good. They got pushed out there loads. They've got a lot more bigger following than us, and a lot more people have seen them. And after those videos have been going crazy, there's been so many channels that have been doing the hunting videos, which is it's great to see. So there's a lot more channels these days that go out the boot sales with cameras on. Because when I first started, I was so nervous. If you watch my earliest videos, sometimes you see me my hand kind of covering the camera, because I used to get a bit anxious because I didn't want people seeing it. But over the years, I haven't really had much like people like challenge me with it. I've not really had much challenge people. I'm getting it more now, because I think there's more of them kind of videos out there, and people know that now people film at boot sales. People are more aware about it, and when they see the camera, they get a bit funny, which is a bit shit, because I never like to have the camera showing in someone's face. I don't want them to know that I'm filming. A lot of people actually have it out and show, and it's just like obvious that you got a camera on. I always have my camera underneath my hoodie, so sometimes my hoodie goes over it, because I only pull it out when I see something that I'm actually interested in. So a lot more people are doing it. There's loads of people doing it these days. Like at my local, there's probably about 10 of us, or maybe more, that go around filming at the boot sales, which is cool. I really like it, because I get to go and see what they've picked up and stuff like that. People that go to my locals as well, like the channels are like, there's like Liam Sells Retro, there's Kaji, there's I think there's Daz, or can't remember his full channel name, but there's literally a bunch of us that go to that car boot and film, which is just mad, and it's cool, There's a good few of us that just wander around there, filming what we getting that content. It's awesome. But it's just, in 2025, I don't know how many channels there are. There's probably loads of channels that I've not watched that are doing these kind of videos now. I know there's Ed Hunts, there's Retro Rummage. Them two are like, they're doing great. I'm always watching their videos, because they do kind of the same stuff I do. They're probably like the two main channels that I mostly watch. You go around hunting, um, but yeah, like they're like the only kind of other. I know there's other people who do it as well. There's other people who film at boot sales. I think there's Collector's Quest. There's who else is there? I'm trying to think. Just on the top of my head, I haven't written anything this down. I know there's a few toy collectors. There used to. I know there was Scott Commenting Collectibles, or is it just Scott Collectibles now? He did it as well. I always like watching his videos. I don't think he's done it for a little while. But there's tons. There's also Holster TV, Holly. She does it every now and again. She's more of a streamer now. But there's been loads over the years. There's been loads of people that have started doing it and now don't even do it anymore. But luckily, I'm still doing this. I'm probably one of the OG people, one of the longest people doing it, I think. I don't know. There might have been someone else who's done it before me that I didn't know of or haven't watched. But there's been a lot of channels that have done this and now are just no longer on the scene, no longer on the tubes or even make content. Because I've found some channels I've used to watch and no longer don't even exist anymore. So it's crazy to see the amount of channels that have been doing it and are just gone, But yeah, a lot of people do them as well. The videos always get crazy views, and like I said at the start, I don't do my channel to get views. I do it because it's something that I really enjoy doing. It's a passion of mine that I like to stick to as long as I can, and build what I've built. But the only problem is, I have so much stuff these days as well. Car booting, it's great, but it can get kind of a bit too much when you pick up so much stuff and you don't get rid of it. It builds up and you just have nowhere to put it, So when I started my channel, I had no goal or what I wanted to do on it, I had no goal. I just did it because basically, some people might know this already, I've mentioned it before. Basically, I had an injury when I was like 23. I fell off my BMX and badly knackered my knee. I basically ruptured my meningus. Is it meningus or something? There's basically like a shock absorber in your knee. So imagine actually knee in your joint. There's like a shock absorber in your knee. And I went to do a jump. I jumped over that. It's called a box, there's a random box. You jump over it. I jumped it, but I went to tuck to get some big air, and I tucked a bit too much and leant forward, and I went over the handlebars. And as I went over the handlebars, I stuck my leg out and landed with all my weight on that knee. So my knee literally just went like the shock absorber inside it. I felt it go. It just went gave way. So then when I tried to walk, all I could feel was bone touching, and oh my god, that was the weirdest feeling ever. It didn't actually hurt, which is weird. My knee just swelled up like a balloon, and I went to hospital, and I had to have basically keyhole surgery. They didn't at first. They told me to go home and let the swelling settle down, and after that, see how you are. I still couldn't walk properly. I was limping. I couldn't put my weight on my knee because it just would give away. It would just give way. It wouldn't hold my weight. So I basically was stuck at home for months. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out and bike, because that was my fashion. Before YouTube, my favourite thing was to go out BMXing. I loved it. I still do have a lot of passion for it, but I just don't go out and ride anymore. I'm kind of a lot more nervous now because I don't want to knacker my knee up again. But it was my favourite thing. It was my thing that I was really, really into before doing my YouTube and collecting what I do. So I was basically stuck for was it like 6 months, I think it was, before I could even have surgery. And it was horrible. I was bored. So I started watching channels, seeing people like doing Game Boy mods. I was seeing people doing Game Boy mods and stuff, kind of inspired me. And I basically made a channel, and started showing some of my collection off, saying, "Oh, I got this, I got these games and stuff." My early videos are terrible. You kind of learn from over time, to get better and get more confident. I started doing that, and it wasn't really going anywhere. I started filming some mods on Game Boys. They weren't really doing great, but I said I was doing it because I was enjoying just making content. And then I started finding, I don't know how I found these other channels. There was like Tutor UK. There was a channel called the Two Fat Bastards, which are no longer. I used to like watching them. They were great. They used to do like streams and have a good laugh on there. They gave me a shout out on the stream back in the day, and I had a lot more people come over to my channel and check it out because I was collecting, like, at the time, like I said, I don't think I mentioned yet, but my channel was called Game Boys Are Awesome because I wanted to mod Game Boys as well, and I wanted to start collecting them. So I was basically focusing on collecting a lot of Game Boy stuff for my channel. So that's why I've got like all these Game Boy games. They're all from my OG days at set up, like on YouTube. I was on eBay all the times trying to get these deals, and you see these Game Boys. I've got the Mario Game Boy there. I've also got the SpongeBob Game Boy. There's a Pokemon one there, another one there. There's even a couple of the Pokemon Game Boys there. They're all from, I think, that one and basically that one there is my first Pokemon one I ever bought for my collection. That Game Boy there, I've had since I was about 15 years old. I got off eBay. I just wanted to pocket, and I thought it looked cool, and I've had it boxed ever since. What else they're going to show what I've had for years? I think that's it on that shelf. I was always hunting on eBay, trying to find, the next game that I didn't have, that I wanted boxed. So I've got like all the good ones from the years that would have cost me hardly anything to what they are now. So, this one's actually from a car boot sale, and I kept the sticker on because I thought it was quite OG. A good old shop, stuff like that. So, yeah, I was out wanting to collect Game Boy stuff, and when I started going to car boots as well, I forgot to mention, I thought I'll go to the car boot, yeah, and I'm going to go and just hunt out for Game Boy stuff. Didn't realise at the time that Game Boy stuff is very hard to find. Anything like that, even if you do find a Game Boy, but like, oh, awesome, like you very rarely find them. So I was trying to find Game Boy stuff, it wasn't happening, and I thought, actually, I'm watching these other channels and they're kind of inspiring me to want to collect other things. So I thought I might as well just start grabbing everything I see, which is cool, like retro games and consoles, and it just built to this. I didn't have a plan to even collect all this stuff, and it's just like, here you go, look. I've built a collection from going boot sales. Let's have a look at what I got from the car boot. Let's have a look. If I've got anything on here that you can see that a boot sale finds. So that there's a boot sale find. That there is a Facebook Marketplace find. Before Marketplace, actually, this was a Facebook selling page. What else we got on Facebook or eBay? Not eBay, car boot. Sorry. I think that Tribal SP is a car boot find for like a £5, I think it was. What else? That ET is 100% from a car boot. No, these controllers are probably all from car boots. All these special edition ones there. That little guy's recent. He's from the car boot. That's definitely from a car boot. That's definitely from a car boot. That's from a car boot. These Game Boy games, none of them are from a car boot. That's from a car boot. And that's from a guy, he does watch me. I think his name's Sam, I think his name is. He goes to my local. So yeah, I've still got that, mate, if you're watching still. I think I paid a £5 off you for that, years ago. I've kept it. So that's from a car boot. I think that guy there, that's from a car boot. And that Spice GameCube, you can just about see. That is my first ever car boot find on the GoPro. How much is your GameCube?
It's 25. It is the American Japanese one.
Alright, yeah. How much is your Mega Drive?
20.
Alright. And that cost me, that Spice GameCube box cost me £25. Absolute steal, even today. You know, back then, I mean, sorry, that even back then, that was a crazy steal. I think they were going for about, I think they were about 60, maybe 70 quid back then. So now they're like well over 100, or probably like 200 quid. I haven't looked, if I'm honest. So yeah, you know, it's just built to this massive collection, and it wasn't really the plan. It just happened because me going boot sales and doing YouTube, and I don't regret it. I love it. So yeah, moving on from what I've been talking about, I'll say a bit more now like about it. So basically, in 2025, the car boot hunting with cameras, just car boot hunting in general for YouTube is just insane, because it's just crazy to see how many different channels there are. Nowadays, it's like the norm, going to a car boot sale and filming is like normal, When I first started, like I was saying, it was not a normal thing to do. You didn't really see anyone go around with a camera filming what they were buying. So I never thought when I started there'd be this many channels doing the hunting scene. It's just crazy to see from someone who is been there from the beginning to see what it is like now. It's like when COVID happened, it's like so many channels just appeared as well and started doing it. And it's just mental to see it. And like I said, from someone who's been doing it for so long, it's crazy. It's cool. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I really wanted to do this video and just to really talk about this kind of stuff and to explain to you a bit of my story and how I got into it. Yeah, it's just sick. And nowadays as well, there's so many more different platforms you can kind of post these videos on as well. So there's like TikTok, you can post a video on there and it can go absolute crazy. The views can go insane, but you do kind of get like attracted, you kind of attract kind of the not so good people who kind of find negativity in your videos for no apparent reason. As well, you got Instagram as well. They also, now they've had it for a good while now, but you can also put videos on there now, and videos on that platform as well does insane. So all these kind of short videos now, you can just put a little find up on them, and that kind of content goes crazy too. So there's a lot of people doing that as well. Some people don't just do YouTube, they mainly do like TikTok and Instagram, and it's just, yeah, love it. It's mad. If you like a channel that do it, whack a comment in and I'll check you out, because I don't watch all of them because I don't know like every single person that does them, but I only see the ones that kind of come up on my feed and I give them a watch, and I always like it. So yeah, I really do love seeing the videos. But yeah, like I said, it does, because I'm a collector, I'm not really a reseller. I do class myself as a reseller these days, because I do take stuff to CEX. That's still kind of reselling, but I don't do it on a massive level. I have been doing some of the gaming markets. I did one, actually said I just did Donny. That went really well, and I really am like pleased with everything that went then. A lot of people bought things off me and it went really awesome. So I can't wait to do another one of them again soon next year. I'm going to try and do a lot more of them and take a lot more stuff, because I really want to get stuff gone. I've got to the point where in my collection now that I can't handle it. It's so much stuff and I've got no room. I want to go through it and filter out a lot of the stuff I don't need anymore, that I don't need to have, just to have the stuff that I'm really interested in. Because I've gone through, you probably can't really tell, but there was a lot of stuff on here that I've now taken off, and I took that to the market. I had like a really cool mass figure, like a really big one. I was like, I don't really have anywhere where to display it, so I've kept this really small one that I found, and this one, which is probably one of my favourite mass figures. I'm not really a toy collector, but if I find cool stuff like that, I'm happy to add it into the collection. Yeah, like I said, like yeah, I don't know, I'm just mumbling now, but that's literally my channel. Has always been about like car booting. At the start it wasn't about car booting, it was actually just like me showing my collection. I actually wanted to do my channel for doing Game Boy mods. I never kind of kept doing that. You know, I just found my kind of love of hunting at boot sales and showing people what I find out of my locals, and it's just kind of stuck, and people know me for that now. So people know me as Game Boys Are Awesome, who goes to the boot sales and films them. So yeah, so I'm probably one of the OGs, very like longest person on YouTube who still push out videos as much as I can, and I love it, and I'm never going to stop. I don't want to stop, you know. It's something that I've done for so many years now, and I don't know, I'll probably do this until YouTube has like, well, basically till YouTube doesn't even exist anymore, which hopefully that doesn't happen, because YouTube has brought me a lot of friends. It's brought me all you amazing viewers. Yeah, it's been great, and YouTube is awesome. So thank you so much to YouTube for giving me this amazing hobby, and to be able to do what I do, and to make content for everyone who watches. You know, go all over the world, there's people have watched me. So thank you so much. If you're a watcher for a long time or a new one, thank you so much. I hope you know how much I really appreciate you following me, watching my videos. It does really mean a lot. So there you go, that's my video, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you've enjoyed that. You know, something I've been wanting to try and do this video for a while, but I never knew how to get it out there and talk about it. But yeah, there we go. So I've been doing it since 2013, and now it's about 2025, and I'm still going. No longer. I'm not even thinking of stopping. So thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, check out my previous videos. Also, consider subscribing, because I do plenty of this kind of content all the time. Thanks so much for watching.